Hello everyone. Hope I'm audible. Can you comment on so that I'll get to know whether I'm audible or not? Okay, great. Just give me a second. Okay, let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes more and then we'll start. Okay. Okay, we can see we have Kishore, Sweet Anusri, Hamida, Naveen, Meir, Pallavi, Omesh. Only 5 people. Okay, we'll start. So guys, this session is not about teaching or taking any concept which we are going through on RISEP object, but it is just a recap what we have learned so far. And if you are facing any problem, okay, or when you are doing it, you can comment on that. I can again go back and I can help you to get that done. Okay, so it can be so far we have started like we have done what we have gone through our DDIC objects where we created database table, custom table we have created the views, we have created data types, and then domain we have created domain, and search help we have started yesterday, but we have just only created the search help, but we have not used that in our report. Okay, so we'll see that how to use that in the report program in upcoming session. Okay, but along with that we will also see how to use create the lock objects, why do we create the lock objects, and how do we use it in our day-to-day programs. Okay, so in the database table, let me ask you question, guys. Are you facing any issue while creating the database, or any concept is not clear in the database table when we create any G employee table? Let's suppose. So any problem you are facing over here? It can be anything. It can be you don't know what delivery class you have to choose. You don't know how to use a field. You can don't know. You are confused over the data element or the pre-defined types. It can be integer help check. It can be currency. It can be technical setting. Currency and quantity I have not taken it. I'll be taking it. Okay, and then it will be more clear. You are having doubt about the data class, size category. Guys, kindly say yes or no in the comment section. Then I can move to the next object. Or it can be table maintenance generator also, which we have used created. We have used how to fill the values, when do we use one step, when do we use two steps, those also we have seen. And how to create the table maintenance or how to display the entries. Guys, I'm not able to see any comments. Are you facing any problem? Okay. So now next we had how to create the data views. So there we have created all three types of view, and yesterday I have asked you and I have created the help view also. So database view, when do we create, when do we use the production view, maintenance view, when do we use it, how, what's the use of that maintenance view. So mostly we use database view and maintenance view. Production views are very less used. Okay. And help view are mostly used whenever we required F for help. So that time we use the help view. So this all we have seen how to create it, and we saw some syntax error also that we tried to solve in the session. And if you face any problem, we can see the video, or you can let me know right now. If you're working on something and you are facing some problem, then we can work on, and then I can help you on the solution part. Okay. Then we have data types. So in the data types, when we were going, then that time we saw what is structure. Okay, what is, we have seen how to create the data element, we saw how to create the structure, when do we use the structure, right? And the table type. So this we have not seen, we just saw overview, like it can be a table type when we are not in position to declare the table as a table type. So there is a scenario in the smart form, there we do not get the option to create the variable with table type when we are selecting in the global field. So what we do is, it is similar like the structure only. Okay, we use the structure in the table type only, but it is a table type. Okay, and actually we can utilize it in a smart form. So that we'll see when we are coming to the session of smart form. Okay, apart from that structure and data element, I don't think it will be any issue when you people are creating it. Okay, then type groups we have not created, but see, I'll give you a normal idea what is type group. So we mostly remember that whenever we are creating any ALB, right? So we are giving type groups, right? Types group and something. So we are giving list always whenever we are using ALB. So inside that, what they do is they group multiple things in a single object. Okay. Grouping means like if some field is required, table type is required, or some properties are required. So all those things can be combined and was okay, and then later on can be used. It's like a include. Okay, what we do is, we need the include we use many times in multiple programs, right? Or the function module, but this is not a function module, they use it as a type groups. And we explicitly define that we are going to use these properties. Okay, these values we are going to use in the program. For that we call this type group explicitly in the program. But I think I have seen some blog and videos where they mention like in the new versions of SAP, or the new versions, this is not required to explicitly call it actually. Okay, so even if you're directly utilizing this list properties, it will auto understand that okay, you are using a type groups list. Okay, then next we had domains. So domains also we have seen like how to create the domain, what all properties we fill. So if I just go here, if I want to create a domain for employee name, okay, okay, it is already exists. So let's see that only. So what do we give in the domain? So mostly we give domains like what's the data type, okay, number of character, how much it will be displayed, based on the decimal places and number of characters, the output length will be coming. So you have seen that in our date format, right? Date formats, we have a number of characters 6, but the output length is 8. Why? Because when we are displaying that thing in that ALB or any other places, it is displayed with dot. We have dot in between, right? Like today's date is 14th of October. So how do we display that in the ALB? 14.10.2023. So extra two dots comes and the output length become 20. Here, this is a character format and it is saying that I need this as 20. Okay, but if you use this in the program or you want to display, you will be able to display only 20 records. Okay, now if I go for the date part, okay, let's suppose signed item is not wait, so any field with date, yeah. So if I go here in the datum, okay, and if you double click on that, see here number of characters are 8, but the output length is 10. This output length actually tells us how much character will be displayed when we are going to display in ALB. Okay, then we have two more thing actually, that are we going to this field or any other character field or number field, is that gonna have some kind of sign like when we are doing the calculation, right? So many people, what they use the plus minus thing or divisible thing. That time we get the value of minus and plus. So this helps us to denote the minus value like that. Okay, so minus 123.56 like that. So whether this minus sign is has to be displayed for this field or not, so we use yes, it has to be displayed. And the last one, which is a lowercase. Okay, so why do we check this box over? In the end, it is being set at the domain level. Okay, so if I go in any table, if I say if I go SE11 and Mara, okay, or SE section I can go. So Mara, if I go and take or MAKT, okay, so which is our description field. If I use this, see all the characters here are on capital letters. Okay, so all the letter like NEBL, NFRT, material one, all are these characters. So SAP automatically convert all the strings in the capital thing. Okay, uppercase I'll say. Okay, in the technical format, so it automatically convert everything in the uppercase and store it in the DB. And if you want to store like if you try to give it any value and try press enter, right? So if I just go IC16 IC11 Mara, if I want to maintain some entry here, let's see if it is allowing me. Go to table maintenance content, create entry is not applicable here, so okay, no problem. So we can use a employee table, I guess. Okay, then go to change mode, utilities, table maintain, create entries. Okay, so if I give employee ID, let's suppose I give 1234, and the name if I give small, okay, see ABAPX. If I press enter, okay, and let's save it. So this record got saved. Let's go to this table. Okay, I think they have used sign or what, because it does not allow, and then we have to explicitly say that we are going to use alphanumerical value. Okay, I think that is for okay, let me just check one more time whether they have used a sign that thing or not. Okay, see here the lowercase was maintained, and that is the reason it has accepted that. Okay, but if I go here in the G phone, and this is num_10, so we cannot give any numeric value over here. Let's see here, this is also num_c value. So that's the reason. See here, what they have done is they selected this already check this mark. So what I'll do is I'll go in edit mode. Okay, it is asking because it's a standard field they have used. Okay, name, so it is not giving me the access. But if we just create a domain, let's create one domain over here and assign to this employee table. Okay, so I'll be creating name, gname, create, data type is char 20. Okay, output length I'm not, if I do not give the output length automatically, it will take the character 20. See here, name, see it has automatically taken 20 from here. Okay, Just save it and directly activate it because it will not have any error. And what I'll do is I'll assign this domain to that field, okay, the name field of that G employee table, and we'll try to insert one entry over there. So I'll take this, go to this table again, go to change mode, remove this data field type, save it, activate it. Okay, we need to give because this is a data element, right? We have to create data element also for that, or we can use the same data elements. Just give me a moment. It got hang actually. Let me stop S11, go to change mode. So this G name, it is not available, so it's a structure, that's the reason. Just give me a moment. What we can create one data element also. Create, it is already exist. Okay, G name one data element. We'll give the domain name G name, that's all. Okay, and we have to maintain the label. So this is the mandatory thing, we have to maintain the label, right? I have to tell you why do we create the labels, that you can see. Name, save it in the local object. See, we are saving everything in the local object because we are not going to import it, right? Now we'll use this data element part. Okay, see, this is a recap actually. So whenever people are going for an interview, right, in the initial days of 2 to 3 years, so people mostly ask that what's the difference between data element and domain. So you should know actually end to end, then only you will be able to answer it. Otherwise, some people, like in the starting, they get confused what's the difference between, and they are not able to answer it properly. Okay, so we'll change this to G name. It is fine only. Let me put again. Save it, activate it. You might get some error also, like you have to adjust the table. If you're changing the field type from 30 to 20, then it says okay, there are entry already exist, you will have to activate the adjust the table also. But if you're increasing the length, then that time it does not matter. But if you're changing the data type itself, we get this error. So we have seen how to adjust the table with the T code SE1414. So there we just give the table name, and if you want to keep the data, we can keep it or we can delete the data as well. Okay, it's getting activate. See, error occurred and activating. So this was expected because they might have used big name. See, structure change at field label, right? Convert table GK employee. So what we have to do first is we will have to adjust the table. Okay, we will have to adjust the table and delete the data, because I think the earlier one was a longer version. Okay, so SC14 we can go. Okay, so he is asking which object you are going to use. So table, and this is the table name. Go in edit mode, and then here it says delete database table. We can delete the table also, or we can adjust it. Okay, activate and adjust data. So if you say delete data, it will delete it. Else just activate and adjust this thing. And then what will happen if the data is having more than 20 characters, will be truncated to 10 characters or 30, like whatever we have given till this much data will be there, and then table will be activated. Okay, so this is the mostly question people ask in the interview also, that I'll tell you the interview question for this is that let's suppose you are going to create change the field of one table. How will you do it? What is the steps you will follow? So answer you have to do is give is that, sir, first we will be changing the, first we have to see where the field is being used. Okay, that is the one thing, because there is a possibility that data element or that field which we are using of that table, okay, this employee table, it can be used in the function module, it can be used in the enhancement, it can be used in some smart forms. Okay, so there's a possibility that it is being used multiple places. Okay, so that time we do not go for the change. Okay, or if you are going for change, we always do the increasing. Okay, let's suppose the earlier uh, field length was 10. Okay, then we should go for 20 but not 5 actually, and that can impact our objects. Okay, now the second thing is how will you do it. Okay, so the thing is like we'll be creating a new data element, or we can create uh, new domains, or depends on the requirement. We'll be creating the object and then we will assign that. Then he will ask the next question that what are the steps you will follow, okay, so that your table data will be there. Then you have to say that sir, we will just go to SE14 and then we will adjust the table. So these are the 3-4 questions comes when you are changing any value. Okay, and there's one more questions comes in the table label that how will you add extra field in the table. So what does that extra field means that when we these tables are we have standard table or custom table. Okay, so see this got activated with that. Okay, now if you'll go in the display mode and we check the status, it is active. So why it was not getting active? Because the length was changed and we got the error. Now the question will be how will you add extra field over here. Okay, in this thing. So mostly what we do, and if we have multiple fields, then we have two options here. We use the include structure or append structure. Okay, so append structure we mostly use from here. This button is there. We first have to create one structure from the structure table, and then we call it here. Okay, so why do we create it? See, in the standard tables, like we have Mara tables. Okay, and we have that KNA table or any standard table which we are seeing. So if you go down, okay, so there we use the C. They have already given the include structure. Okay, include can be used any places and any place, but append has to be done at the last only. Okay, so I think they might have also used the append. So let me see it. See here, you can see this append, right? Dot append. So it means they have added some structure over here, and those value for this structure, right? That will be available. See, this value will be used in that field actually. So this is the way we enhance the table. Okay, and this is question comes mostly. I have seen that many places that they come for this question for the table enhancement at the time of what we call in the enhancement. Okay, let's suppose there is a Mara table. Okay, we have Mara creation, right? The material number creation mm01. Now the what the user says, okay, it is not working. So let me check with that x301 only. Yesterday it was working. If someone has done some enhancement and we are getting this error, they might not have activated the code. Okay, or there is a possibility the code was not working properly. So we have to debug that code and then make it work actually, or revert the changes. See, inconsistency in the directory of structure VWP Mara. So there is a possibility something wrong has happened. Okay, and then we let's suppose we go to XT01, which is this is the T code to create the customer actually in SAP in ECC, but in HANA we have now different BP transaction that we use. So customer here we can either copy it, okay, and keep the company code 1000. Now what happens here? The user wants one more field, okay, that whenever we are creating the customer, I want to give uh, some information like in the customer table we have almost 3 to 400 fields. Okay, so 300 almost field, but still that guy wants to have some extra. Okay, or I'll say he wants to have some field. I'll say uh, which country is working. Okay, like that. Okay, here we have country, residence, all that is, but he wants to write which country is working. So that's a custom field. Okay, so this custom field has to be used, and this whatever data we are going to fill over here has to be stored back in the table. Okay, so which table it will be filling? It is I guess LFE1 is the table. LFE1. Yeah, so vendor master we have this one, not this one. I think I'm missing the table. Just take it for example. Okay, so LFE1 is the table. So what we do is that we you create one structure first. Okay, with the help of data type, so we can give some description and then go to create mode. Okay, then go to create and then first create a structure. Okay, once it is created, we go to the database table, and then at the go in the change mode, okay, and append the structure. Append structure can be done in the display mode as well, okay. See, this is at the structure which is currently there in the system, okay, in this table they have used. But if you want to append one more, or create also possible from here. See here, create and append. Then first you can create some structure, and then you can append it directly. That's how we enhance the table. So this is mostly used in the two places. One is that we are enhancing the screen, we are adding some extra field or columns over there. And the second place is BAPI enhancement. So you guys might have heard this concept called BAPI enhancement. That what happens that our tables are only eligible to see this. If table, if I see, this can take fields up to 127 fields it has, okay. But there is such some value, okay, there is some value which the user does not want to be a part of this table, okay. See, if you are storing everything from the screen or with the BAPI, it it will reflect here in the LFA1 table and the connected table also. So for the connected tables, like it will have some other table also, like vendor, then item, and then where it is used, or the what's the billing, okay, and how much invoice amount is pending with this vendor. So all those tables or data will be reflected, okay. But he wants only the information in this table, okay. There's a possibility. So what we do is BAPI enhancement is we can take two fields, okay, and then we just store that value in this table only, okay. If we get a chance, we'll see of BAPI enhancement also, but that's the extra topic, but still we'll see, okay. Then search help we have seen. Why do we create a search help? So that when the user click on the F4 button, we get the help, and then he can select from that thing, okay, and then do the transaction or do the reporting or anything in the report program or in the module pool program or anywhere, okay. So that's a lock object we create. Okay, so I'll give you the brief of lock objects. Why do we create it? So see here, if I'm going, okay, SE16 and SE11 again, just give me a moment, okay. So if we go SM30, okay, SM30, which is our table maintenance generator, okay. So from here we maintain the entries in this table, okay. So I think this table does not have maintenance generator, but let's see if which table has the table maintenance generator. We can see. So if I take, go to maintain, it is asking for the select nation. No, not required. See, it is some kind of configuration table they have created, and that's why it is saying it's a cross client table. So cross client means it will not have that mandatory field available. That also I'll show you. But let me. It is not responding actually. Okay, if I just go here, see, this is the table, okay, and the conversion set. Something is coming up here. Let's not take this table. See, if I just go here and open in S11, go in display mode. See here, there's no mandate field. This is a view, okay. And if you're storing anything in this, then it will be reflected in this current client, okay. What's the current client number is 800. If any other development also system is available like 801, 802, 803, there also these values will be reflected. So, okay, so that's why we got this thing that uh, it's a cross client. So if this is also an interview question, how will you create? What is the difference between the client dependent and client independent table? Okay, why do we create it and what is the use actually? So you have to say to the user, to the interviewer or the whoever is asking the question, saying that client dependent tables are like we are creating only for a particular client. Okay, so for this client is it is 800. So we will create and store and read the data only from that client. Okay, so how will you create the data for that client? So we have to always use the field called MANDT, which is our mandate or client field. So if any standard table you will go, you can see this field on the top always. See mandate, right? So this denote that this client is client independent table. Okay, sorry, dependent table. And if you're storing any data in this table, it will be visible into this 800 client only. Okay, but if you go to 801 and that also you maintain that the structure will be available, okay, in the other client, but data will not be available. Okay, that's the difference between client dependent and client independent. Okay, if someone asks this question, this can be the answer for that. Okay, so let me search one table. I'll show you what's a lock object, how does it work actually, or I'll show you one more way actually. Me21n or Me22n, I can go see Me22n. So this is a T code for purchase order change. So if you have any purchase order, we can change the value over here. Okay, so if I take any purchase order here, it will open in the change mode. Okay, it's taking some time because PR, PO, these screens are a bit heavy screens. Okay, so see, this has come now actually. If I go click on this button, display to change, some values will be opening again. See, now it is in edit mode. I can change some value, right? Now I am editing this PO information. Okay. Now there is one more one of my colleague. He's sitting on some other system or some other country. What he does is he take this number. He is also wants to change some information. Like he wants to add some field over here. But what I'm doing is I'm changing the purchase organization or the group over here or at the same time. So what will happen? Whoever he has used this at the first will be using it, but the other person will see a message saying this purchase order, okay, this 559 is being used or is currently editing by this user. Okay, some message will come and he will be only able to read that purchase order. If I just go and check this one, okay, see, I have opened the next window. I think you are not able to see that. Let me share my screen again. See, this game is edit display mode. First, if I click on this pencil, okay, try to change it. So it will give us a message. See here, user, this is a user ID name, already processing purchase order 4500125559. Okay, so these kind of messages we can give with the help of lock objects, and it is logged for that by for write mode actually. Okay, and if I go back, whether it's lock or not, if we can see that also, like whoever used that and how many purchase order people are currently working on. So there is a T code for that SM12. Okay, this is a T code we used to see the lock objects. Okay, so it can be PR screen, PO screen, or it can be Mara screen, anything. Okay, or it can be in debug mode also. We are accessing that material, that also possible that it is currently locked. Okay, if you want to give some table name something, it's fine. Otherwise, you can give the user ID, then click on the list. See here it says that this guy is using E mode, okay, and then date this set user, and this is C. If you see 559, this is the purchase order number the person is editing. If you think that this is being open for a long time, okay, mostly in production we do not have this access, but still, if you think that guy is currently editing from last 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hour, and you feel like no, this is not, he's not working on that, then what you can do is you can delete that entry. Okay, and because now you have to work on that purchase order or that entry, right? Then you can just delete this entry. Okay, this will be deleted. Delete the log entry, yes. Okay, or you can call them, you can ask them, like that's what user do actually. Okay, or they just drop an email saying this is being used for this much long time, that I'm deleting this entry, so because I need to work on that part or that purchase order. Okay, now if I go back, see, if I go back again ME22N and try to edit that entry, see, it opened in the edit mode. So that's how the log thing actually works, and we can access that. But in production, people does not have access to log objects, so only the basis team or the admin which having more access, they can do this part actually. Okay, so hope you understand the log object. Guys, can confirm yes or no. It's just an overview. We'll go with more in detail when we creating it and use it in our program. Guys, yes or no, please. If it's yes, type I, Y, or no, then N. Guys, we'll stop the session now. We'll connect on Monday. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye.